Have you ever wondered how a poor little boy became the most famous comedian in the world? This boy had no money, no easy life, and many days without enough food. His father left the family, and his mother became very sick. Sometimes he did not even know what would happen tomorrow. But he had one special gift. He could make people smile. That poor boy was Charlie Chaplin. Today, millions of people know his funny face, his little hat, and his big shoes. But behind every smile was a life full of pain and hard work. This is the amazing story of a boy who never gave up and changed the world with laughter. Chapter 1. A boy born in a poor family. Charlie Chaplin was born on April 16, 1889, in London, England. His family was very poor. His father, Charles Chaplin Sr., was a singer, and his mother, Hannah Chaplin, was also a singer and actress. They loved the stage, but their family life was not happy. Charlie was still very young when his parents separated. After that, life became much harder. Charlie lived with his mother and his older brother Sidney. His mother tried her best to take care of them, but she did not have enough money. Some days they had only a little food, and some days they had almost nothing to eat. Charlie was only a small boy, but he already knew what hunger and sadness felt like. His father did not stay with the family, and he could not help them very much. Charlie missed having a strong and happy home. He often saw other children playing and smiling, but his own life was full of problems. Even then, he did not stop dreaming. He liked to watch people, copy their funny faces, and make his brother laugh. Charlie loved his mother very much. She told stories, sang songs, and tried to make her children happy. But slowly, her health became worse. She could not work like before, and the family became even poorer. Charlie and Sidney stayed close to their mother because they knew she was fighting a difficult battle. The small family faced many hard days, but Charlie learned something important. He learned that even in dark times, a small smile could give people hope. He did not know it yet, but this simple lesson would one day make him famous around the world. Little Charlie had no money, no rich family, and no easy life. But deep inside his heart, he had courage, and soon, an even bigger challenge was waiting for him, a challenge that would change his childhood forever. Chapter 2. Hunger, Pain, and His Sick Mother. Life became harder for Charlie after his parents separated. His mother, Hannah, tried to work and earn money, but she was often sick. Some days she could sing, but many days she could not. Without work, there was very little food at home. Charlie and his older brother Sidney knew that their mother was doing her best. They never complained, but they were often hungry. Sometimes they ate only a small piece of bread. Sometimes they went to bed with empty stomachs. They wore old clothes and lived a very simple life. As time passed, Hannah became even sicker. She could not take care of her children like before. Charlie was still a little boy, but he worried about his mother every day. He wanted to help her, but he was too young to earn money. There were difficult days when Charlie and Sidney had to live in a home for poor children. They missed their mother very much. They felt lonely and afraid. Charlie often hoped that one day they could all be together again as a happy family. Even in those dark days, Charlie did something special. He watched the people around him. He looked at the way they walked, talked, laughed, and cried. Sometimes he copied their funny faces and funny movements to make his brother smile. For a few moments, they forgot their pain. Charlie slowly learned an important lesson. Life could be very hard, but a smile could make a sad day a little brighter. He did not know it yet, but these small moments were helping him become a great performer. The young boy still had many problems, but he never lost hope. Deep inside his heart, he believed that one day his life would change. And very soon, a surprising chance would come to him, a chance that would put little Charlie in front of a real audience for the first time. Chapter 3. A Small Boy on the Stage. Charlie Chaplin's life changed when something unexpected happened. One day, his mother Hannah became very sick during a small stage performance. She could not continue singing. The audience started to become unhappy. The situation was serious, and everything felt like it would fall apart. Then, something surprising happened. Little Charlie was asked to go on the stage. He was only a small boy, but he was brave. He walked slowly onto the stage, looking at the big crowd. His heart was beating very fast. He had never performed in front of so many people before. The room was silent for a moment. Everyone was watching him. Charlie started to sing. His voice was small, but it was clear and full of feeling. At first, people were quiet, but slowly, something changed. The audience began to listen. Then, they started to smile. Charlie noticed something powerful. When he did a small, funny movement, people laughed. When he acted a little silly, they enjoyed it even more. He did not plan it, but he was naturally making people happy. Soon, the whole audience was clapping. Some people even laughed loudly. The little boy who was once hungry and lonely was now making a crowd smile. After the performance, coins were thrown onto the stage. Charlie picked them up carefully. It was not just money for him. It was hope. It was a sign that he could do something special. That night changed everything. Charlie realized that he had a gift. He could make people laugh and feel better, even when life was hard. From that moment, he started to dream bigger. He wanted to be on the stage again. He wanted to act. He wanted to perform. Even though life was still difficult, something inside him had changed forever. The boy who once felt helpless now had a purpose, and this small moment on a simple stage would become the first step toward a future no one could imagine. Chapter 4. A New Dream Begins. After that first small performance, Charlie Chaplin could not forget what happened on the stage. He was just a little boy, but he felt something new inside his heart. For the first time in his life, he saw that people were not only sad or serious, he could also make them laugh. Life at home was still very hard. There was still little money, and many problems continued. But now Charlie had a small hope. He wanted to perform again. He wanted to stand on a stage and make people smile. He started to watch actors more carefully. He learned how they moved, how they used their hands, and how they expressed feelings without saying too much. Charlie noticed something important. Sometimes, silence could be more powerful than words. At the same time, his family situation did not improve. His mother was still sick, and life was still uncertain. But Charlie did not stop thinking about the stage. Even when he was hungry or tired, he kept imagining himself performing again. Slowly, he joined small theater groups. At first, he did very small roles. Sometimes he only walked on the stage for a few seconds. Sometimes he had no speaking lines at all. But Charlie did not feel sad. He used every moment to learn. Other people in the theater began to notice him. They saw that he was different. He did not just act, he studied every movement. He tried again and again until he made it perfect. Even small mistakes became lessons for him. Charlie also began to create funny actions in his own way. He loved to observe real people on the street and copy their movements. He saw how rich people walked proudly and how poor people moved quickly with worry. He stored all of these details in his mind. Every day, his dream became stronger. He did not want just to act. He wanted to be remembered. He wanted to make the whole world laugh. But the journey was not easy. There were many failures, many rejections, and many days when he felt small and powerless. Still, he never stopped trying. Deep inside, Charlie believed one thing. If he kept working hard, one day the world would see him. And slowly, that small boy from London was moving closer to a destiny that would take him far beyond anything he had ever imagined. Chapter 5. A New Life in America. Charlie Chaplin's life slowly started to change as he became better at acting. People in the theater noticed his talent. He could move in a funny way, show emotions without speaking much, and make small actions look interesting. Even when he was still young, he was different from others. As time passed, Charlie got a big opportunity. He was invited to perform with a famous theater group. This was a very important moment in his life. It meant he could travel, perform in new places, and meet more people in the world of acting. Later, this journey took him to America. When Charlie first arrived in America, everything looked big and new. The streets were wider, the buildings were taller, and life felt very fast. It was very different from London. But Charlie did not feel scared. Instead, he felt excited. He believed that something special was waiting for him here. In America, Charlie started working in silent movies. This was a new type of acting where actors did not speak. They used only their face, hands, and body to tell a story. For Charlie, this was perfect. He already knew how to express feelings without words. At first, he was just one of many actors. But soon, people started to notice him. His style was unique. He could make people laugh in a very natural way. Even small actions became funny when he did them. Charlie worked very hard. He practiced every day. He watched other actors and learned from them. But most importantly, he added his own ideas. He did not copy others. He created his own way of acting. Slowly, his name became more popular. Directors started giving him better roles. Audiences enjoyed his performances. People began to remember him after watching just one film. Even though success was coming, Charlie never forgot his past. He remembered the hungry days in London. He remembered his sick mother. He remembered how difficult life used to be. These memories gave him strength. Every time he acted, he put real feelings into his performance. That is why people connected with him so deeply. And in America, a new chapter of his life had truly begun. A chapter that would soon make him one of the most famous actors in the world. Chapter 6. The Little Tramp Changes the World. As Charlie Chaplin became more successful in silent films, he started to create something very special. He wanted a character that people would never forget. A character that could make people laugh, but also feel emotions like sadness and hope. One day, he created the Little Tramp. This character wore a small round hat, a tight coat, big shoes, and carried a walking stick. He looked funny, but also a little sad. The Little Tramp was not rich or powerful. He was a simple man, just like many poor people in real life. When Charlie first played this character, something amazing happened. People loved it. They laughed at his funny walk and silly movements, but they also felt emotional when he showed loneliness or kindness. The Little Tramp became very popular in America. Soon, people from other countries also started watching Charlie's films. Without using many words, he was able to connect with the whole world. Charlie worked very hard on every film. He did not just act quickly. He thought deeply about every scene. Sometimes he repeated one small movement many times until it looked perfect. He believed that small details made a big difference. His movies were not only funny, they also showed real life. They showed poor people struggling, kind people helping each other, and the emotional side of life. This made his films different from others. As his fame grew, Charlie became one of the biggest stars in silent cinema. People waited for his new films. His face became known in many countries. But even with all this success, he stayed focused on his work. He remembered his childhood. He remembered hunger, sadness, and struggle. These memories helped him understand real human feelings. That is why his acting felt so real. The Little Tramp was not just a character. It was a reflection of life itself. It showed that even poor and lonely people have dreams and dignity. Charlie Chaplin had now become a world-famous artist. A boy who once had nothing was now making millions of people laugh and cry at the same time. And this was only the beginning of his true legend. Chapter 7. The Legend Forever. As time passed, Charlie Chaplin became one of the most famous people in the world. His character, the Little Tramp, was loved by millions. People from different countries watched his films and understood them without words. His comedy was simple, but very powerful. Charlie did not forget his past. He still remembered the days of hunger in London. He remembered his sick mother, his lonely childhood, and his hard struggle. These memories stayed inside his heart and shaped his work. Even when he became rich and famous, Charlie continued to work carefully on every film. He wanted every scene to be perfect. He believed that films should not only make people laugh, but also make them feel something deep inside. As years went by, Charlie Chaplin became a legend. He received respect from people all over the world. His movies were shown in many countries. People called him the king of comedy because no one could make silent comedy like him. But life was not always easy even for a great star. He faced criticism and problems at different times. Still, he never stopped creating. He kept telling stories through his films, showing kindness, sadness, and hope. In his later life, Charlie became older and quieter. He spent more time with his family. But his films continued to live in the hearts of people. New generations also discovered his work and loved it. Charlie Chaplin passed away in 1977, but his legacy never ended. Even today, many years later, people still watch his movies and smile. His character, the Little Tramp, still walks into the hearts of audiences around the world. From a poor little boy in London to a world-famous legend, Charlie Chaplin proved one powerful truth. No matter how hard life becomes, dreams can come true with courage, hard work, and hope. Final message: never give up on your dreams. Even the smallest boy can change the world if he believes in himself. If you enjoyed this story of Charlie Chaplin, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring stories like this. Thank you for watching.